Premier Guitar here, looking at the HeadRush Pedalboard. Huh? Pretty cool, right? So this is the age where you got, what do you got? You got line 6, you got Axe Effects, you got Fractal, Kemper, you got them all. They're all making this, things like this, and essentially it started with line 6 like almost 20 years ago, making amp simulation, right? It all started that with that kidney-shaped, that kidney-shaped...
Yeah, the pod.
Pod, yeah. I had one, Lance, do you have a kidney-shaped?
Had them all.
Had them all. And man, they just keep getting better. And these guys, if I understand it correctly, they HeadRush Pedalboards took the 11 rack, is that right? Started with the, kind of the 11 rack thing, and took that technology, put it in a very usable floorboard. And what I dig about this is right here, it's like you've got an iPad right there, and you can change everything just with a click of a button. So right now I'm running out of it into this old Fender amp right there. So so I've taken it, you can kind of do it on the fly. You can change, or you can run it. Well, we're sort of right there. I'm sorry, I'm kind of going back and forth. But say you want to run direct. I'll take that out and let me crank up this. This is just a studio monitor. But then all I do is add the cabinet in with the click of a button. And suddenly we're on that. And we've got a direct signal. So you can go, with the click of a button, you can make it just an effects running into an amp, or you can make it something for a direct into, either running in the front of the house, monitors, or in the studio. So that kind of easy use is great. Now here it is just going direct. Pretty handy, right? Let me get on a guitar. Should I put it on a guitar?
I think it makes sense.
Okay. Okay. Sorry, I was in lap steel mode there for a minute. Let me put on a guitar and show you what I mean. That'll make more sense too. Telecaster okay, y'all? Okay. Oh, hey, and I want to give a shout out to my buddy Lance Harville over here. Lance, thank you. He actually, these units are so hard to find right now. I had to borrow one from Lance. He's with the Rex Brown band from, of course, you all know from Pantera, and he was good enough to come over and let me borrow his unit for this video today. So,
hello.
So, thanks, buddy. I owe you. So, I'll just tell you the basics. You've got this unit right here, and you can add and subtract as you see fit. And here's what's really cool. Okay, well, let's just deal with our reverb. Push down on our reverb right there, and then suddenly we can affect it. We can, with hands-free mode, we can use this pedal right over here to adjust it. So you want to make it really wet, we're only at 22.
These three would become like the knobs on a foot pedal. So
yeah.
You have complete control over all three without reaching down while you're playing in the middle of a song. Is that right?
Yeah, absolutely. And what I love about it is that, when you're tweaking with your hands, you don't really know what it's saying. Your hands are there. Yeah,
it's
going back
real
and forth.
time adjustment.
Yes, you can adjust as you play and really dial it in. So that's the coolest.
That's very cool.
Yeah, of all these, I think this is the coolest thing I've seen yet. Right over here, pre-delay, so you want whatever it is, you can tweak as you go, and then get there to exit. Very cool, right? Here's the other bit. You can add any effects you want just with the touch of a button. Like for instance, okay, a little personal shout out on on the 7th, 2 days from now, I'm doing the CMT Awards. I've been the MD on that show for, this will be the 9th season. And every year I play with like 5 or 6 new acts, and there's a bunch of tones we have to go through because you're covering the albums of, of like 6 different acts and a lot of effects. So there's this one guy I'm playing with, Brett Young, who has a #1, I think this week, called In Case You Didn't Know. And there's a crazy Leslie thing on that. So say I'm using this board, I would just go here, touch that, find modulation right there. Let's see, rotary, sure, why not? I'm just going to go for an easy one. Let's say the first one, whatever the hell that is. Okay. Okay, that's our tone. A little slow, so let's go fast. We'll go right over here. Now that sounds pretty much like Brett's record. So. Then turn it off. Oh, didn't go off because I pushed the wrong one. There it is. Also what I love, look down here, it actually spells it out. Now it says rotary, that if I'd learned to read, I could have seen that says rotary. So it gives you everything right there. Now say that's not doing it for you. You double click it, delete it. Yes, I do want to delete that. Say we need some delay. Let's touch right there. Oops. I think I did it the wrong spot. Okay, yeah, say we want a little delay right there. Actually, say I want some delay after the amp. Put it in right there. Let's go with that. Okay. Now say I want a little bit more of that delay. Mix. Cool, right? We'll exit there. Now we got tap right here. Stuff is just immediate, which I love that. I'm not a particularly technical person. I'm Chris Keys, I'm basically just a big dumb monkey.
I'd like to call you a galoot.
Yeah, exactly. I'm a galoot. I am perhaps a typical consumer. I don't know. Maybe I'm atypical. I assume that most of you. I look at manuals and I get kind of panicky. I break into a sweat. I would rather just
jam.
Yeah, exactly.
Play music.
Yeah, exactly, Lance. I just want to play music. I don't want to spend time reading about technical stuff. But man, this is really intuitive and quick.
Easy.
Yeah, easy. And tons of different sounds. Like this is just a preset that comes like it comes. Let me go back to the amp. I like this sound. The direct sound's cool. But I want to go back to the amp just for shiz and grizz. Let's try this. Go over here. See where we are. Now at this point, I'm going to take the cab out, so it won't color my tone. Now, say we want a different drive. I'm going to go right in here. Let's go distortion. Let's go with green. That seems like my jam. Now, Lance, when you're using this, you're using mostly effects, right? Are you running into an amp or?
Yeah, our last rehearsal we had like old Marshall heads, and
Yeah.
I just used it as an effects rig.
Yeah.
So I could get the heads nice sound. I did use that for some overdrive solo type stuff.
Yeah.
Like the green. And yeah, so I just, instead of putting a bunch of effects pedals and cables everywhere, I dropped that on the ground. It's ready to roll.
Yeah.
Like you just showed, you can adjust things on the fly while you're playing. So usually when you get down to the room, nothing that you've set at the house is the same. When you get in the room, it sounds different. And being able to set it without reaching down with your hands is absolutely fantastic.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
really tweak it to the room you're in on the fly.
Yeah, it's very cool, man. It's a very efficient way of doing this kind of thing. Also, I'm using an XLR out into that studio monitor, but I'm using a 1/4 inch over here. You can go stereo out into a couple different amps, or stereo into a board or whatevs. Get that big spread. There's headphone stuff. Oh, on the intro, I showed you that little looper, which is pretty hip. I mean, how cool is that, man? Just to have and get this, the looper, I'm told, is like 20 minutes. Now, I don't know, do they mean, okay, if you loop 20 minutes total, like maybe you loop a 5-minute song and you can do 4 different passes of the entire thing, which I could never keep track of all that. But in short controlled bursts, that's where a looper works for me.
A lot of time.
That's a lot of time. Everything is right here too. You've got. Oh, okay. Here's if you want to jump around quick, push to enter. This gives you. Okay, shows you. Of course, the green is that sort of Ibanez-y 808 kind of vibe to it.
You can change the color of it too, make it anything you want.
Oh, see, I like
really,
that.
Personalize everything.
Yeah, and I love that the colors here correspond with it. It's kind of just.
So you can make it whatever color you want and rename the patch. So a while ago you were pointing out rotary. You can make it say John's rotary, or you can make it say whatever you want and completely customize it to your personal taste.
Right, that's what I would do. In fact, if this was my rig, instead of I was using it on the CMT awards, I would have made that Brett Young's patch and then go through there, so you could just have them tailored towards a song. And like I said, I'm just a big dumb animal, and I don't know if that would be there might be a time in the future where I do that, where I just program stuff like that. Whoops, our timer says we're almost over. Let me kill that. There might be a time in the future where I do that. Right now, I do like just having pedals and tweaking because I'm old school, but I can see the benefit of this. And on my touring gig with Lee Bryce, I do the direct thing. And I'm not, truthfully, I do it because our sound man Wayne loves it, and I do what he wants. It's not my thing, but I also come from the school where the customer is always right. So if my boss, if the band wants direct, you just go direct. And I think the day is coming where probably every professional musician is going to have something live like this. Something that will just do it all for you. So anyway, hey, so we got some cool rig rundowns coming up this week. Check that out. Chris, what's this week?
Hall & Oates.
Hall & Oates, man! That was awesome. John Oates is the coolest dude, and he's got this 59 Strat that I've basically watched him play my whole life on television, and to hold that guitar in real life was awesome. And he's got a great story about that, so tune in. And on the 7th, tune in the CMT Awards. See yours truly. Let's have the drum machine take us out. Woo!